equations. So far we've been doing algebraic expressions, meaning there wasn't any equal sign. But now, because it's an equation, we do have an equal sign, right? Okay, now there's a few steps that we have to follow when we do algebraic equations. So you can maybe write algebraic equations. Okay, now, because it's an equation, we will now have an equal sign, right? Okay, now, usually they will ask you to solve x, or if it's y, they will ask you to solve y, or sometimes they only say solve the variable, meaning whatever the variable is, x or y or a or b, you've got to solve it. Yeah. Okay, right, so the steps that we have got to follow, people. The steps that we've got to follow is step 1. We've first got to use BODMAS to simplify. And you'll understand once we start doing. Okay, so why do I say BODMAS? Because if I've got brackets, it means first get rid of the brackets. Okay, if there's of, then first get rid of the of. No? Okay, right, then step 2. Once we've simplified as far as we can, take your unknowns or variables to the left and normal numbers to the right. Okay, once we've done that, step 3 is we get rid of the coefficient. So, and now I hope my spelling is correct. Is that fine? Yes. And then, not right. Oh, it's just without the kolletjies. The Afrikaans has got kolletjies. Okay, then step 4, if there's an exponent, only now can I get rid of the exponent. Okay, so there's 4 steps basically. No? Right. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a few examples just to show you guys why I say these steps. Can I skip? Okay, so example 1. And we're going to start simple and then make it a bit more difficult. So let's say 3x minus 4 is equal to 68. Okay, so there's my equation. Why can I say it's equation? Because I've got an equal sign. No? Okay, now, we said step 1 is use BODMAS to simplify. Could I simplify anything here? No. Okay, so step 2 is unknowns to the left. Now, what I mean by that is, yeah, I've got an unknown. But remember that 3 is attached to it, so that's one thing. No? On which side of my equation is that 3x? It's already on the left-hand side of my equal sign. So will that move? No. So that's going to stay 3x. Okay, right. So 3x. Now, we said normal numbers we want on the right. So can you see this one is already on the right? But that one has got to move to the other side of the equation. Does that make sense? Okay, so we first write down what was there first, meaning the 68. No. Now, we said that minus 4 needs to move over, and as soon as I move something to the other side of the equation, it becomes the opposite. No. Okay, so that minus 4 will become a plus 4. Okay. You guys fine with that? Okay. Now, can you see that that can be simplified? All right. So I first do that before I carry on with the next step. So now I'm going to have 3x is equal to 72. Okay. Right. Now, step 3 says what? Coefficient. Now, what is coefficient? The number in front of the unknown. And I've got to get rid of the coefficient now. That 3 is actually 3 times x. No. So if I want to get rid of this 3, what do we do? I divide by 3. Now, lots of kids prefer saying this. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay? Okay? Same thing. Okay? So you either write that or you say x is equal to 72 divided by 3. Doesn't matter, either. Okay. Which means that if I stick to this, can you see these will cancel out? So I have x, and 72 divided by 3 gives me 24. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Are you guys fine so far? So far. Okay. Okay. Right. Example 2. 5x minus 1 is equal to x plus 3. Okay. So step 1, what is BODMAS? Get rid of the brackets. Right. So if I multiply brackets in, it will become 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times 1 will give me, times minus 1 will give me minus 5. Okay, you fine with that? Okay, now unknowns to the left. So this one was already on the left. That one has got to move over. No. Okay, so on the left I had 5x. This x moves over, so it becomes minus x. Then equal to, normal numbers on the right-hand side. 3 was already on the right, so I write the 3. Then this minus 5 moves over, so it becomes plus 5. Okay. Now we first simplify, eh? So 5x minus x will give me, that's actually 1x, no? So 5x minus 1x will give me 4x equal to 8. Now my next step says get rid of the coefficient, meaning that 4. So I am going to divide both sides by 4, which means that x will be equal to 2. Yeah. You're going to get your mark. Let me show you. You're going to get your mark here, and then you get your mark there. Okay, so if you're comfortable with skipping there, you're going to get a mark for the multiplication, and then probably for the 4x, and for the 8, and then for the 2. So 4 marks.
Now we're talking about...
Guys? Yes? Sorry? The 5.
5 times 1.
This one. Okay, look. 5 times x gave me the 5x. And 5 times minus 1 gave me minus 5. Okay. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah? But then you've got to end with x is equal to 2. Close the door, not go out the door. Come. No, don't walk away. Come. Right. Any questions, people? Can I skip?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Next one. Okay, now, people, shh, 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 shh. The next one is a bit more difficult. If I give you the following. Nee. Okay. X over 3 plus 2 is equal to 4. Now, our step 1 was BODMAS. Can I do anything here? Okay. Our step 2 is unknowns to the left. Okay. Now remember, that unknown is attached to the divided by 3, so we still keep them together. No? You fine with that? Okay. So it will be x over 3 equal to, and normal numbers we want on the right-hand side, so 4, there we go, minus 2. Yes. Oh, look. Okay, so x over 3 will then be 2. Okay, now what was our next step? Our next step was coefficient. Okay, but there isn't something written here in front of the x. Actually, there is, because, yes, but I can't just go divide by 1 because that's not going to work. No? Basically, what we want to do is I want x alone. No? And what is written, that x over 3, I want, that's the same as x divided by 3. Do you guys agree? So what do I do if I want to get rid of the divided by 3? Take it over so it becomes times 3. Does that make sense? Say again. It was given like that. Does everyone understand that part, that it's divided by 3? Okay, so to get rid of it, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to say, take it over, and then it would be 2 times 3. So x will be 6. Do you guys understand that? Okay. What's actually happening, let me show you. I'm working from here now. Listen, I'm working from here now. So it was x over 3, and that was equal to 2. No? Okay. So why I say times 3 is, if I say times 3, and I also have to do it on that side. No? Can you see that this one will cancel out with that one? So that over here is how I just get x. Then 2 times 3 gave me 6. So it's basically to get rid of that fraction. Okay. Does it now make a bit more sense? Is anyone still unsure? Klein Vicky. Just remember, yeah, from this one. Shh. How did I get from here to there? Okay, so this part is x divided by 3. Nice? So, because you read it from the top, x over 3 is x divided by 3. So I want to get rid of that 3 at the bottom. And because that's divided by 3, if I take the divided by 3 over, it becomes times 3. Okay. That's fine? Okay. Eh, yeah. Any other questions here? Okay. Can I skip? Okay. Now, are you sure you understand this? Because the next one is going to be a bit more difficult. Right. Last example. Example 4. X over 3 plus 2x minus 1 over 4 equal to 1. No, not yet. Okay. Now what's going to happen is your first step is get rid of the fraction. No? I don't know about you guys, but normally kids don't like fractions. No? You don't want to work with it. Okay. So what we do is we look for the lowest common denominator. No? And we multiply with that. Okay? Now, lowest common denominator. Now, over here my denominator is 3. Over there it's 4. Now, what is this one? It's actually 1. No, because 1 is the same as 1 over 1. No. So if your denominators are 3 and 4 and 1, what's the lowest number that all of them can go into? 1. Not. I want the lowest common denominator. 12. Yes. Why can't I use 4? Because 3 times what will give me 4? Because how do I go from that 3 and this 4 to just 1? I can't. Yes. So I am going to say, let's multiply with 12. Okay, right. So I'm going to multiply with 12. Okay. Now, I'm going to show it separately here. That first one, x over 3. What would I do? I had this, x over 3. Okay. If I multiply that with 12, I'm going to show you 2 different methods. No? Can you see that 3 will go in once and 3 will go in 4 times? So x times 4 will give me 4x, and at the bottom 1 times 1 will give me 1. So how much is left there? Just 4x. Okay. What did I do here? Okay. So I said that first term, x over 3. If I multiply that with 12, 12 is the same as 12 over 1. Then the 3 and that 12, 4 can go into both. 3 can go into both of them. So 3 goes in once, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. And then I can't cancel out any further, so I say x times 4 gave me the 4x, and 1 times 1 gave me the 1. And 4x over 1 is still just 4x. Okay. Right. Do you guys want to use that? I'm going to show you a different method as well, then you can decide which one. Okay. My class from last year, they like using this one. It was x over 3, no? So because we're going to make our lowest common denominator 12, we used to say at the bottom, if I want to make my denominator 12, what would I multiply with here at the bottom? With 4. So then I do the same at the top. So then it would be 4x. And then all we do is we forget about the denominator and just look at the top. Okay. So you can use either one of the 2. It doesn't matter. Yeah. How can I just ignore it? Because all these fractions would be over. Would be over 12. And then because they're all over 12, we can ignore the bottom part and just look at what's at the top. So instead of writing everything over 12, over 12 over 12. We just skip this bottom part. Okay. 1 divided by 1. I'm going to get to that now. Okay, right. So that was now only the first term. Let's look at, can I delete everything down here? Okay. So let's look at that second term. So now I'm busy with this one. No? Okay, so it was 2x minus 1 over 4. Okay, I'm going to show the short method according to me first. The left-hand side one. Okay, we said I want to make my denominator 12. So what do I multiply with at the bottom? 3. Now this part is important. So the top, you put in brackets and also multiply with 3. Okay? You guys fine with that? Okay, let me show you the long method. So what would be written here? 3 bracket 2x minus 1. Okay, let me show you the long method.
Oh, so this already 12.
So have a look. So times 12 over 1. Now, we said when we cancel out, 4 goes in once, 4 goes in 3 times. So what's left? That must be multiplied with 3. And have a look. 3 multiplied with a bracket. Do you guys see? Okay. Okay. This one. Okay. Shh. All right, let's quickly run through again. Okay, so we've got to take that, 2x minus 1 over 4, and we multiply it with our lowest common denominator, 12 over 1. Okay. Now, sorry. This times 12, the 12 I got from all my denominators can divide into 12. That was my lowest common denominator. Okay. Right, so I multiply with 12. Now I can cancel out. 4 will go in once, and 4 will go in 3 times. No. So at the top, can you see I've got 2x minus 1? And that must be multiplied with 3. So, like that. And then 1 times 1 will still just be 1. Can you now see it's the same as what I have there? Make sense? Everyone else? This one. Okay. Okay, so what we do at this one, according to me, this is the shortest one. We want our denominator to be 12. So at the bottom, how much did I have to multiply with to get 12? I multiply with 3. Then it would be 12 at the bottom. But if I multiply at the bottom, I must multiply with the same thing at the top. Now, because I had more than one thing, just put it in brackets and say that must also be multiplied with 3. No. You guys fine? So actually it looks like this. Every time I want to write that, it doesn't want to work. So it actually looks like this. Over, over 12. Okay. Then, on the right-hand side, I had 1. If I multiply that with 12, that's going to give me 12. No. Do you guys understand? So if I kept it in fraction form, kom ons kyk of hy nou wil, it would have looked like this.
I feel like that one is easy.
No, it would have looked like this. Okay.
The 12 one.
So you could keep it like that, and then in your next step, we just rewrite everything without the bottom parts. So it's going to look like that. All right. Okay, so now it looks like the equations that I previously had. So now we follow our steps. Step 1 is BODMAS, meaning what do I have to do first? Get rid of the brackets. So 4x and then 3 times 2x will give me 6x. 3 times minus 1 will give me minus 3.
Simplified. Thank you very much.
Okay, right. Can you guys try and go on?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. I'm going to give you guys homework. Yeah. Exercise 9.1, page 77. You only do number 2 and 3. Now, let's make it 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Right.